I'm Christine, and today my presentation is going to be about Chloe Zhao. And this is the outline of my presentation. I will divide my presentation into 5 parts. And first of all, I will do a brief introduction of who she is. By the way, she's a director, so I will next talk about her movie style and then introduce some of her famous films. And last but not least, I will tell you about my reflection and the conclusion of the presentation. So, if you are a big fan of Marvel or a lover of beautiful, unpopular independent films, you should never miss out on Chloe Zhao. She is an outstanding Chinese female director and one of the most influential women in the present days. So, Chloe Zhao is born and raised in Beijing, and she described herself as a rebellious teen and lazy at home. At the age of 15, Zhao went study in the United Kingdom, where she learned English. And she eventually finished high school in Los Angeles, where she lives alone. And after she graduated from college, Zhao worked all kinds of odd jobs and did bartending, which helped her find her true interest of meeting people and hearing about their lives and histories. And this gave her the will to attend film school and then becoming a director. Being a Chinese female director in the American film industry is anything but easy. However, Zhao used her own way to make it through all the difficulties, and in 2020, her independent film, The Nomadland, made her the second woman to win the Golden Globe Award of Best Directing since 1984, and she is also the first Asian woman to win the Oscar for Best Director. Her unique way of telling stories in her films made her stand out from the others, and her work marks a huge milestone in the movie industry. And in the following part of my presentation, I will guide you to the world of Chloe Zhao's movies. So the next part, I will briefly discuss about Chloe Zhao's movie style. So most of Chloe Zhao's films focus on the Western America. Her 2017 film, The Rider, and the 2020 film, Nomadland, both gave portraits of the people living in South Dakota. And the themes of her films are mostly like saying goodbyes or finding a home or a sense of self. According to Zhao herself in an interview with the magazine Taylor Asia, being a Chinese who leaves her culture and families behind, she speaks to those who are following her footsteps and are feeling the same loneliness. She speaks, Chloe Zhao loves like universal stories, and she tells us that she wants her story to be something that people can connect it to or relate it to no matter where they're from. And Chloe Zhao's works are famous for its beautiful, breathtaking objective scene shots. Like she tends to use wide-angle lenses while shooting and choose grounded cameras while filming that moves naturally. And furthermore, she doesn't use any extra lights when filming in the location, and the team just shot with the natural light. These techniques are what makes her film, makes her scene shot stand out from others. And according to the other Oscar-winning director, Ang Lee, he once described her film as deeply sad yet incredibly kind. Take Nomadland for example. And in the movie, Zhao spent a lot of shots showing the landscape of rural America, and she shows the canyons, rivers, and plains. It seems like to her, putting in all those objective shots tell more stories than putting in a lot of dialogues. And this is also what I love about her films. I can always find peace in those scenes. So I will tell you guys about one of the Chloe Zhao's most famous film, the Nomadland. Nomadland is the one which brought us numerous awards and brought her name to the whole industry. And the film tells a story of a modern time nomad whose name is Fern, who has lost her husband in an accident and lost her job too. And in the movie, Fern sold most of her possession in return for a van and a new life on the road, where other campers teach her how to survive in the Wild West, and more so to process her grief and loss. Zhao herself said that the main dilemma that Fern faces: if I lose everything that defines who I am, then who am I? My favorite part of this film is when Fern was saying goodbye to one of the modern nomads. She told her that nomads never say goodbye. Instead, they always say "see you on the road," since they believe that they will meet each other again sometime someday. I also like how the characters in the movie try to confirm that nomads are not homeless but houseless. And Zhao used her unique storytelling skills to sketch the life of modern nomads, like modern American, the lifestyle, but at the same time soothing the mind of those leaving their house and leaving their comfort zone to step on the road. According to Chloe Zhao herself, she said that Nomadland on its core is a pilgrimage through grief and healing. She said that for everyone who has gone through this difficult journey in some point of their life, this movie is for you. And this is another film that I want to talk about, and this is also her latest film, The Eternals. Although a big percentage of Chloe Zhao's films are indie, last November she showed the world another outstanding work which made her even more respectable. She became the first female director to direct a Marvel Studio film, and the name is Eternals. The movie is about a group of aliens called the Eternals who have been living on Earth for 7,000 years, and they come together to save humans from some evil deviants. And Zhao has been a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe for the last decade, and she has been vocal about wanting to create a Marvel movie. And it seems like a dream come true to her. And unlike the other hero movies, Zhao can continue to use her special shooting style and make the Eternals a different kind of superhero film. Critics describe it as an elegant, artful movie, like full of superheroes who spend time thinking and feeling, and it contains a lot of special effects that are not just zippy but often delicate. I like how she remains her style, and even when cooperating with big studios like Marvel, and through her eyes, the audience get to see a whole new kind of superhero movie, which is distinct from the old ones. And for the last part, I want to discuss about my reflection of why I choose her as the most influenced people and the conclusion of my presentation. So, to draw a conclusion, I think that Zhao has proven to the world that even with a different cultural background and even being a woman, one can still earn others' respect and become successful. And according to Hollywood producer Chris Fenton, Chloe Zhao's achievement can be seen as a form of American dream, which encourages those eager to chase their dreams overseas to really step out and take action. And moreover, I think Chloe Zhao's spotlight comes with great responsibility. Like her success showed young filmmakers, especially Asian women, that there is no need to change themselves to fit in the huge movie industry. And sometimes people think fitting in the mainstream is what they should do, but actually where you're from and where you're at is good enough. I think that finding their own style and a way of telling stories is also a way to make others remember your name. And this is what Chloe Zhao's success taught us. Zhao's potential influence of her pioneering footsteps is what makes her different, and it's also the reason why I choose her as my most influential person. And so this is all the resources, and this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.
So thank you very much. Okay, so Christine, over.
I want to
So
ask.
I have a question. Oh, Jenny can go first.
I want to ask that what do you think about Zhaoxing is blocked in China?
I'm not quite sure about like she cares about it or not, but I think this part influenced more of her film in Marvel, since I think to Marvel China is a big part of where they earn their money from, and like Zhao is now a director for Marvel, so I think it is a thing that like they should think about when choosing to cooperate with her.
I wonder if you have to recommend a movie of Zhao for a new movie. What who for a person, and which movie will you recommend the most?
I would say Nomadland, since this is my first movie of Zhao, but I'm not quite sure because I went to the movie with two other friends. Like I'm the only one who stayed awake and finished the movie. But actually the movie is like one of my favorite. But for ones who want to like watch a movie with exciting plots, I don't think Nomadland is a good choice for you. Yeah.
I'm curious about that. Why you choose Dao as your topic?
Actually, because I am the last one to fill in the chart, so when I'm choosing my topic, she is the only one that can still be chosen, and I also know her name. But I think it's okay for me since I have watched her movies and I'm quite into it. So does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. But I want to ask what's the impression of Zhao before and after you finish this report?
I think there isn't much different before and after. Like before doing this presentation, I already have like a little knowledge about her since I have seen her movie and I did a little research about her. But I think while doing this presentation, I found more about her interviews with different magazines, and I get to know what she is thinking while filming all her movies. So I think this is a good part of doing this presentation.